Famalam. Welcome to God Made Dirt, the podcast. You dig, man? We are so happy to finally get this thing going, man, with your leading lady, BK, and your boys, me, Marcel B, the MC, on God. Go get that single. It's on all platforms. Shameless plug. The super dope Pastor V, man, and Money Mike, and last but definitely not least, the code breaker himself, Tar Mel, to my left here. And this is where we have real conversations behind the curtain of religion. You know, the stuff that the church may be too holy or the world may be too embarrassed to talk about. Well, we going to talk about it, you dig? And today we going to dive into sex before marriage, right? We going to get right to it, as you can see. Very first episode. But anyway, we're going to dive right in. And most specifically, we're going to get into OnlyFans, right? Now, everybody that at this point, if you got a phone, you done heard of OnlyFans, right? Whether it be for something naughty or something nice, you done heard of it. So we gonna get into it, man. But before we do, man, how's everybody doing today?
Oh, good, man.
Tarmel, where you at with it, man?
Man, excited to be here, man. Excited that everybody's in studio.
Right, just had a birthday pass.
No doubt. We all here together celebrating and doing God's work.
No doubt. Money Mike, what up, bro?
Living, man. Living. Just finished 6-month show. And everything kosher with me. I'm vacationing.
Yeah.
Vacationing.
Now, Money Mike is our honorary Detroiter. We gotta get him an old English D hat before he goes back home.
Oh yeah,
and it's happening. And we'll talk more later.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, Pastor V, man, what's good, bro?
man. I'm glad to see y'all boys, man. We here, and we living, man. Life is good.
You just had a
God
birthday
is
too.
good. I just had a birthday last week.
Exactly. The birthday boys.
Yeah, we in here,
Yep.
and I just turned 30, so we hanging out, we chilling, we enjoying each other's company,
No doubt.
and I'm excited to be here. I'm glad to see. I want to see what this about to turn into. It's about to be
Uh-oh.
crazy.
Right, man.
Uh-oh.
We're going to get deep.
30. Man, BK, the leading lady, what's good, man? What's up with you over there on the West Coast?
Man, I'm holding it together. Super busy with my business, Be Adored, body care, and planning for my birthday trip, which is becoming very costly. But I'm super excited about it. Just recently injured my knee, so I got it elevated sitting here. Hate that I can't be there with you guys celebrating Tarmel's birthday. So
So,
I'm chilling, salty.
I'm going to let you slide this time.
All right, you know we gonna
I'm going to
celebrate
let you
enough
slide.
for you.
But for the dirty 40, you already know.
Oh, it's going down. All right, man, that's what it is. So we gonna dive right into it. But before we do, Money Mike, let's post to the roasted, bro.
Yes, sir. So the way this work is, I give you 3 topics, right? 3 hashtags trending going on in the world right now.
Yes.
And we're going to post it or we're going to roast it. Keeping score and everything. So you fellas,
So,
ready?
so tell me what does posted mean.
Post it means it sticks. Roast it means it got to go.
Gotta
You ain't
go.
with it.
Gotta go. Get the stepping.
Get out of here, bucko.
Get the stepping.
It's out of here.
Right.
Okay, fellas, let's get with it. So, hashtag 1, man, number 1, catch me outside.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you know, the girl from, what's that, Dr. Phil show, the Catch Me Outside girl, she recently just turned 18,
Yeah.
right? So, as soon as she turned 18, she came up with an OnlyFans page. She made $1 million in, 6 months? I mean, 6 hours, sorry.
6 hours.
6 hours, $1 million, cash. Fellas, what's your take on that? Let's go, Marcel. What you think?
Ah, man. $1 million in 6 hours. Let's do the math. That's a lot of money.
That's
the math.
All you need.
It's gotten me thinking if GMD needs an OnlyFans page. That's the first thing. Man, she's grown. And so it's crazy. I got older boys, right? And they're 23, 21, and then we got another one that's 11. But the older ones, one of the toughest things to do is watch them make certain decisions, right? But I got to live with it, hope that I showed them enough. So I'm going to say post it because she's an adult. And even if she regrets this decision later, I don't know how you regret $1 million, but even if she regrets it later, hey, she lives through it. She learns from it. So I'm posting it. That's my vote.
Pastor B, what you think?
Man, it's tough because $1 million in 6 hours, even to God's own chosen sounds really good. Sound really, like you say, God made Dirt need OnlyFans, right?
Right.
But it's like, man, like you said, it's hard to watch your children make certain decisions. But she's also at an age where she's able to make those decisions, and you hope that you've instilled enough in your child that they will make decisions that fit their character and their purpose and not just their pocket.
Right.
But it's tough, man, because I want to roast it, but I think I'm gonna have to post it because she at the end of the day, she's going to be probably one of the ones that they look at, for the next couple of days. She'll be headline news for a couple of hours, maybe a day or so.
Yeah.
Then somebody else will come along and they'll kind of forget about her.
Right.
So, for the sake of creating the OnlyFans and, doing her thing and in 6 hours making $1 million, I'm gonna post it. Hey, you did your thing. Go ahead.
2-0.
Mine's out.
So, question. Now, when you say she did OnlyFans, you know what I mean? Because for research purposes only,
Yeah.
you kind of dove into OnlyFans
Right.
to,
Yeah,
to
right.
see.
That's a disclaimer. When my wife sees this,
Yeah,
it was for research purposes only.
right. We had to dig into this thing a little bit. So, was it OnlyFans, or was she showing feet?
What I will say, what I'm gonna say is,
Was she in bathing suits, or was she?
well, let's just
Bare.
say this:
Right,
I
'cause-
didn't see no turtlenecks or Nike sweats on her.
Because we know Mike
Okay.
saw it.
All right.
Hey man, hold on, man. Hold on.
My disclaimer is I'm only posting it because of the $1 million in 6 hours. I ain't see the video. Nah,
we
man.
don't know what it is.
So I'm only posting it for the sake of her doing her thing in 6 hours like that.
Right.
So I'm a post it because I dig the way that they taking the power back and figuring out a way to
Monetize.
it and change lives. Hopefully, you know what I mean. So
3-0.
I don't even think my opinion matter at this point.
BK.
Sounds like we outnumbered.
BK, what you think?
Yeah, we still got to hear it, man. Especially get a woman
Uh,
on this. What up?
For me, it is a definite roast. And I'm roasting it because, for one, nothing associated with this Catch Me Outside girl has ever been positive. She got on Dr. Phil doing negative stuff. And I'm sure to keep her attention or keep her fans' attention, it continues to be something negative. I don't know what you did in 6 hours to get $1 million, but I'm sure it wasn't positive. And I'm sure it wasn't for the content of which originally OnlyFans was for. Just to give you guys a little backstory real quick, OnlyFans was for creators, for those who couldn't get out in the industry, for those YouTubers who had fans that followed them for advice, so that they can get paid on their content. And once they got paid on their content, they can go and do something for themselves within the industry in which they went through. So OnlyFans has definitely changed from what it once was. Yes, it gives those people out here that really don't have a way to make money, but it's been completely sexualized now. So I'm roasting it.
There it is.
Hey.
3-1, Mike. Where you at, though?
Hey man,
bring it home, Mike.
I'm with Brooke. You know that? I'm going against the grain.
Surprisingly,
I'm going against the grain.
Wow.
Okay? So for my future wife out here in Detroit, only research purposes that I was looking at this page, all right? I'm going against the grain. Reason why is when you cut the attention off, it ain't nothing there. Like Brooke said, this was an attention-seeking thing. She just happened to come up off of it.
but we don't know what she gonna do with the meal.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
You know what
Right?
I mean?
Yeah, because,
Like,
all right,
like,
hey,
it's
at
transfer.
the end of at the end of the show, Pastor B, give your church offering up so she can send it over to Pastor B then. Since you talking about what she gonna do with
Okay,
it.
all right, that's fair. So 2-3.
2-3.
Hashtag Pastor B Church. You know, send it over there.
I rock.
Church
Send
and I rock.
Send it over there.
Still look like we posting it on that one. That's the next one, Mike. What you got?
Hey, so
Okay.
number 2, man. Hashtag sex sales. Are strippers worse than OnlyFans models? Fonzo.
So when you say worse, you mean which one is it? To me, it's the same. The reason why I say that is because to me, OnlyFans become a virtual strip club. I think it's one of the same. Everything's digital now. You know, we found a way to do everything from our tablets or our phones now. So to me, it's the same thing.
You posting it?
Oh, okay. So we want to say we post a roast that. Uh, yeah, I'm a roast it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because, so for one, this don't really fit a post a roast scenario.
Fair.
I'm gonna be honest with
That's
you.
fair.
On that one. So we got to get the editors on this to figure out how to better fit that. But you know, this is our #1 episode. Welcome.
Yeah.
We glad y'all are here with us, and we gonna get better as we roll.
God made Dirt the podcast.
God made Dirt the podcast. It's all on us.
I know.
But anyway, yeah, man. I mean, I guess people got to make a living the way they do it, but the fact that I feel like the stripping is like a gateway drug, if you will, to you wanting somebody else than the person that you with or with intended to be with. I think in a certain way it tears relationships apart. So because of that, you know what I mean, I'm roasted.
Pastor B, what you think, man?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think I would roast it. I think that it essentially is the same thing. I do think that it is a gateway because you made a very significant point. Especially for men, we are visual creatures. And when you open up the visual side you start to open up the human nature of man. And that can open up curiosity, and curiosity can open up some dangerous doors.
Yep.
So I think that they're both essentially the same, depending on what the content is being posted. Because like BK said, originally OnlyFans was utilized for business owners and content creators who couldn't necessarily get their content out in the mainstream, but they had subscribers and they were trying to monetize. But people, of course, perverted it. We know sex sells. And so people created a way to monetize off their bodies. And in other words, seek out attention and finance, minimizing themselves and their dignity just to make $1.
Right.
And so at some point you gotta ask yourself, what's more important? My purpose in life or my pockets?
Yep.
And am I gonna sell my purpose and my potential just to make $1?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm roasting it, man, because I think they're essentially one and the same as it relates to strippers in the actual club, physical, strippers versus, whatever they doing in OnlyFans, making, creating this content that is supposed to be user friendly. But yeah, I think it's essentially one and the same, man. You're creating a platform for perversion. You're creating a platform for your body to be looked at as just what it is, your body.
Right.
And it really speaks to the volume of what you care about more. And it shows that you really seek the attention. And I'm not knocking anybody for what I'm just saying it starts to beg the question, what deeper is happening? You know what I mean?
Sure.
What's happening on the inside where you're not getting what you feel like you really need, where you feel like you got to substitute one thing for the other. And so I'm roasting it, man.
Sure. 2-0. Who
Hey,
next?
Brooke, what you think?
Hashtag sex sales. That's a very true statement. However, I am roasting it. I am not going to post that. I'm roasting it. Strippers, are they worse than OnlyFans? To me, it's pretty much the same thing. Playboy models, take it down to the bare minimum. Strippers, take it down to the bare minimum. You guys just choose to do it on OnlyFans. I don't necessarily think that either of them doing that is playing mainly on their insecurities, but more so on the perversion of man. Like, men are the ones sitting here buying this stuff. They want to get paid for being objectified. It's like, hey, you want to objectify me, you're going to do it anyway. I might as well get paid for it.
They're taking back their power, right?
Essentially.
Exactly. So for me, it's like, okay, that's nice and all. You made your money. Happy. I just couldn't do it. But I'm not posting that, so
Sheesh.
I'm roasting it.
Marcel?
Man, one thing, B, when you said caught up in the mix, It was, I'm just another black man caught up in the mix, trying to make $1 out of 15
That's
cents.
time, man.
So that's what I was at with that. Anyway, so man, I'm posting it, right? I'm posting it because the more we choose not to bring light to certain things, I think we can get lost in them. And this is one of those things where we got to just shed light. Does it need some cleanup? Yeah, for sure. But hashtags tend to bring awareness.
Yeah.
And if we act like sex doesn't sell, then it'll dominate even more. You know, it's almost like the reverse psychology. You know what I'm saying? Are strippers or OnlyFans models worse? OnlyFans models are worse, and that's my vote. You know why? Check this out. So, I know an older gentleman I used to work with that invited me to a strip club that I went to for research purposes only um, a couple years ago, maybe about 5 years ago, and he invited me. Now, he was working in this city before I was there, and this was like his, it was a small town. It was one of the places he went to a lot, to the point where they knew him by his first name when we walked in.
Sheesh.
And like, he's a loner for the most part, and I could tell that what he enjoyed the most wasn't really the physical or the visual gratification. It was the conversation from these women, and the OnlyFans takes the conversation out of the element. You know, like,
Poor customer.
like, like, so if you ask me, OnlyFans is worse because my homie needs somebody to talk to. So
It is.
that's my vote.
Buddy.
I'm roasting it, man. It's about the same to me too. Listen, actually, I think OnlyFans is a little healthier. It's more COVID friendly. If you ask me, it's a little more COVID friendly. If you ask me, I mean, you can't touch them there, so I can't touch them at home. Hey, it's a little more. I'm roasting that thing, man. Hey.
401, there it is. What's the
Hey,
next
there
one,
you have
Mike?
it.
That's
All right,
hilarious.
last but not least, man, hashtag love and OnlyFans. So I saw this article, and it was talking about how a couple joined OnlyFans together, trying to get this bag together. Boom, 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 and he broke up with her because he checked their OnlyFans account, and she was looking at other men, naked, everything like that.
Right.
Now, are we posting it as far as the jealousy part of it, or we roasting it?
Yeah.
Fonzo.
We roasting it. We roasting it because at the end of the day, like, that's what you let that into your relationship. So you can't control, you know what I mean? Like, once those boundaries has been crossed and everybody's desensitized now,
Mm-hmm.
you can't have it both ways. That's why we don't do that. If you're going to be a jealous guy, I would probably advise you to not have OnlyFans with your girl. You definitely can't be the jealous type.
Yeah, right.
And have that don't even match. So I'm roasting them.
Bro, what you think? Talk to me.
In that scenario, I would roast it, but just in the hashtag itself, I would post it because I think it's better to do things together. So it all depends on the content in which you're trying to share on OnlyFans. So yeah, I'm posting it.
That's what's up. Marcel, what you think, man?
Um, I'm posting it. Yeah, I'm posting it. Like Brooke said, it's one of those things, man. And I think you gotta learn as a couple what works and what doesn't work. I think certain things should be done in a certain container, but you learn that as you get older. The things that you would do at 21 tend to be a little more wild than you would at 31 or 41, right? And so these couples that tend to do that, I guarantee most of them are younger, maybe 25 and under, but not sure. Some people just see it as a bag. A lot of people don't view sex the same way. Some really see it as something God created, so it's this erotic thing to produce more children. Some people see it as a tool. Some people see it as a drug. So you never know. That varies from person to person, let alone couple to couple. So I post it, and just because you can't just throw one blanket over everybody. So that's where I'm at.
Pastor.
So you asked, are we posting or roasting the sake of jealousy? I'm roasting the jealousy.
For sure.
And here's why. The way you start a thing is the way you'll end it. You can't put expectations on things that start with no boundaries.
Wow.
So either you build the fence before you start it, or you leave the fence down. Because you're starting a relationship with somebody, you're in this relationship, and y'all both have a OnlyFans, and again, curiosity and commonality. Dangerous. Because when you're common and you spend a lot of that common time together, your curiosity starts to make you think the grass is greener on the other side. I mean, that's a saying that we all learned growing up.
Yep.
You think the grass greener on the other side.
Yep.
And now you got a situation where he feel like his girl or whoever is out here looking at other guys, and now the element of jealousy has crept in, and now we talk. I mean, that's a whole nother conversation now.
Yeah.
Because you putting expectations on something that started with no boundaries.
Yep.
So the way you start a thing is the way you'll end it. And I'm roasting the jealousy. Like you can't expect for her to not be turned on or even desire other things when you're allowing that content. You know what I mean? So you really don't have the room to be jealous.
Right. No doubt. All right, Mike.
Oh, tiebreaker, huh?
Yeah, let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's go to the big board.
Man, check this out. Man. I have to roast the situation. Man, like that jealousy thing. Listen, that real quick story, man. Like, so I know a real close friend of mine, almost like if he's my brother, like real close guy, and they're part of this little thing where couple swapping and stuff like that, but he don't let the wife play. He just do all the playing, and that's what it reminds me of. It's like if you can't play fair, you shouldn't be in it at all.
Yeah.
So for you to leave her because she's visualizing somebody else, that's a problem for me. Share that. But yeah, I'm roasting that thing. Man.
Yeah, the jealousy is just out of bounds.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, man, there you have it.
3-2 on that. We roasting that one, man. All right, BK.
Well, I'm glad we got that tiebreaker
For sure.
situation under control, because I was about to be worried about y'all. But we have a message from our sponsor, Infinite Potential. Enhance the most amazing services of online shopping at Infinite Potential Enterprises. They offer one of the best services to deliver foods at your doorstep and an equally easy ordering step. They also have a physical store located in Altamont Springs, which is in Orlando, Florida area. You guys need to go and check them out if you're in Orlando, Florida. But let's get down to dirty, you guys. So from influencersmarketinghub.com, OnlyFans has 500,000 new users daily. That's per day. Plus or minus 15 million new users per month. And they pay out more than $2 billion to creators. So the question that I have for you guys is, could you date someone or be in a relationship with someone that had an OnlyFans if the money's good? Pastor B, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you on this one.
Nice.
Okay. No. I could not, and that's a. I want to say something else. But y'all lucky we don't got no. I couldn't date somebody on OnlyFans, especially not even if the money was good, because number one, I think that if I had a woman who was on OnlyFans and that was supposed to be my partner, I would begin to question if her attention is more focused on me or focused on creating the content for other people to see for the sake of getting money.
Yep.
The Bible says, for the love of money is the root of all evil. And so it's not the desire to have money or to get money that is the root of evil, but it's the love or the desire that overwhelms us to get money that causes us to create or do things that are out of our character to get the bag or to get money. Even when we talked about sex sales, I'm not, it's like, number one, is the attention I'm giving you not enough? And number two, as the man, I want to feel needed and feel like the provider. Is the provision that I'm making for you not enough? Because now you're hungry and you're thirsty for other things like attention and money from other sources. So what is the sake of having me if everything that we do or everything you do is about the bag and about, putting your body out, I don't want everybody to know what I got.
Mm.
And so I'm like, no, I'm not dating nobody with OnlyFans because it's opening up other doors. You talk about the element of jealousy, and you talk about an unfair situation where you're walking into something unevenly yoked, if you will, because you got a partner who is probably more interested in creating content to get the bag than making sure that you are fulfilled.
Mm.
So I just couldn't put myself in that position to date somebody who thought having an OnlyFans was appropriate. That's just not for the kid.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'll
Okay,
hop
what
in.
about you, Mike?
Oh, okay.
Hey, so in one of my commandments, one of my 10 commandments, I wrote down.
One of my 10.
It's thou shalt not take an OnlyFans girl serious. It's actually number 7 in my 10 commandments.
That is hilarious.
I'll leave a comment. I'll post a little link so y'all can check those out later. No, Brooke, absolutely not. The moment I hear those words, touch her lips, I'm out of there. No, because like Pastor B touched on, it's like, will I be enough? Like, hey, babe, you want to go get something to eat? Yeah, I thought I'd do this shoot real quick. Shoot? No, that's I'm not playing second fiddle to a nasty page, So no way, Jose. No.
Wow.
What about you, Tarmel?
Yeah, so I gotta say no. I agree with these guys 100%. I think there's a such thing of a healthy jealousy, where you don't want to share certain things that are private or valuable to you, and the body of the person that I'm with is just that to me. You know what I mean? And so there's got to be boundaries established, or we don't know which way we're going. You know what I mean? And so to me, that would be a huge one. Rule 7 is Rule 7 would have been number 1 to me.
Yeah.
So
Thou should not have a girl with OnlyFans serious. Take her serious.
do not take her serious.
Wow.
Can't do it. Get yourself hurt.
Mm.
Marcel?
So me
What
personally,
about you?
nah, I couldn't do it. Me personally, nah. But I do know a population of men out there who not only are okay with it, but find pleasure in it. There is a population of men out there that find it satisfying to see their woman desired by other men. So something like their girl having an OnlyFans is a plus for them. And I think we got to have this conversation about, I think the population of men on this panel is different from that, population of men, but there are a lot of men out there like that. So, me personally, no, but there are some men out there that get down like that.
Hey, girl, you so beautiful. What do you do for a living? OnlyFans. No, whoa. I sell jewelry on there. Yeah, all right.
Yep.
BK, where you at?
Right, where you at with it?
Uh, I'm all for supporting creativity and encouraging um, a man to do more if he wants to. But for me, I agree with you guys. Like, I'll encourage it, but do you have to pick the OnlyFans platform to do it? Like, no, because of what OnlyFans stands for today. It's like, if I value you, then I value where you stand in my life. And for me, if I'm with you, you're an extension of me. So if I'm not sharing the appeals of myself to everybody, do you think I really want you to be sharing what I feel is an extension of me with everybody? Like, no, because once you do that, you become dirty. You become soil to me. Therefore, I don't want you no more. So
Jeez.
no, I don't want you on no OnlyFans. Go on
Hell
YouTube,
no.
create your own platform, find somebody that can create a web page for you and do it there and make it positive, but don't share anything of mine that I feel is sacred. Like in
BK, let me
jealousy
ask you
form, that's
this.
where I stand on that.
Let me ask you this: if you dated somebody who was a subscriber to OnlyFans, would you be comfortable?
If we're just dating and I find out he has an OnlyFans, he's on my radar. And if he's on my radar, that's not good because you activate a different type of Brooke.
Uh-oh.
And I don't like that type of Brooke. I don't like the Brooke that feels like she needs to be somebody's probation officer, checking in with you every 5 minutes, what you doing, worrying about what you texting, and all that other stuff.
That's
So
fair.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, no.
It's a
Okay,
little unfair.
if the guy you was dating asked you to remove it from your phone, would you?
That's a no-brainer because it wouldn't be on my phone. I don't have OnlyFans now.
We
So
don't know what's going on up there in Cali, Brook. We don't know what's going
listen,
on.
Cali's wild, but Brooke is still from Michigan.
There
So
you go.
no, we're not
You
doing
don't want the
that.
Detroit Brook to come out, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. doubt. It's in
No.
there.
That's Audrey there. We don't want that.
Audrey.
So I guess that's another good question for everybody here. Like, is it, can you be with someone who has a subscription? So not that they're a performer on OnlyFans, but has a subscription on OnlyFans. They're basically, someone who goes in to views content only. Can you do that, man? Mike, where you at on that?
It's, man, I'm gonna tell on myself. If she got it, she got to go. If I got it, let's compromise.
Mike said a double-minded man is less than.
Just figure this thing out, guys. Like, okay, I will only look between the hours of 8 and 9:30. After that, let's share. I don't know. Let's compromise. But no, like it's just kind of touchy because we live in a world of to sit here and say porn exists. So it's like, would you break up with a guy or a girl if they watch porn? Like so it's like what put OnlyFans at the top of the ladder to where we look down on it so hard more than porn, more than strip. So it's like it's tough. That's a tough bullet to bite. But yeah.
What about you, Termel?
Yeah. I think I would be uncomfortable and it is a double standard. I ain't gonna lie, but you asking me what I think, so it's what I think. I think, man, we are kind of creeps in that way, but for women, I just think it's a different perspective for them. Is there men OnlyFans pages?
Right. That's
Yeah,
a
I'm
good
sure
question.
there are.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know, but
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not
there
denying
definitely
that,
is.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's not something.
Thought you said you ain't have one, BK.
I don't have one, but I've had guys slide into my DMs on Instagram and tell me, hey, come look at my OnlyFans.
Okay.
I'm like, what
Wow.
for? You gave me everything I needed to see right here on Instagram. I'm good.
They selling jewelry, bro.
No.
That's why.
High end,
Right.
fine china. But yeah, no, man.
But could I date a man that actually had an OnlyFans though? I think it depends on the man because they're not all of them think the same. And I've come across some men that are like some true nerds, like they're gaming, like they're gamers, true introverts that don't want to like leave out and stuff. But you give them an OnlyFans, they're like, oh, this is just a little too much for me. They want to go back to the video games and stuff like that, like grown men. So it's like it depends on the man. And a man is only gonna hide who he is for so long before it comes out. So
I just believe
you can have a guy that has an OnlyFans on his phone and ain't never even opened it.
It's not an app for OnlyFans. Not that I researched that, but anyway, I just
Oh, it's not?
I believe no clue, bro. No clue. I believe it's just we all have vices, but I think if we're on a date and I see you over there scrolling through it while we're on dates, that's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just think it's a line there to where it's like, are you addicted to it or it's just a little fly by night type thing. So there's levels to it.
Yeah, so as I told y'all, me, Tarmel, and Mike went on a trip today. We took a journey to OnlyFans. And again, it was for research purposes only.
That's it.
But boy, it was a trip, right?
That's it, ladies.
So
Listen,
we saw a little bit of everything.
disgusting to
And
me,
it seems that OnlyFans is like a supermarket for fetishes, right? So we saw, a wide range of things on there, right? It's not just people that are nude on there. There's a wide range, right? So the first thing in terms of fetishes is, are fetishes a sin, right? Are we just indulging in things that we like, or are we truly putting those things before God and worshiping those things? What do you think about that, Brooke?
Ooh, are you putting a fetish before God? I don't know about that. What kind of fetishes do they have on this OnlyFans?
I mean, so one of them
Like,
we saw a lot of feet, and I don't know if because I won't do that to you, Mike. So we saw a lot of feet. We saw a lot of feet on there, and so one of the things like that's not nudity at all. It's feet. You know what I'm saying? So like one of them was
right.
feet. So if you got a foot fetish, as you are liking, feet, are you worshiping feet? Which that's putting something before God, or are you just simply, you know, like you like feet? You get what I'm saying? Is that too far?
I don't I can't necessarily say that the two go together, honestly. And I think of that just because there was a man that I dated for a while that had several fetishes that I had never even heard of, and it
Hold on, Brooke. Hold
became
on, Brooke. Before you start, let's give you the proper. This is Brooke's story time, everybody. Let's give you a nice intro because this is about to get good, and I know it is. All right, go ahead.
so there was a guy that I dated for a while that had a number of fetishes that I had never heard about. And, he indulged in those fetishes with me, keeping it PG. And, but, he was a Christian. He was a Christian, his love for God and everything. It didn't stop. It didn't stop him from loving God. It didn't stop him from seeking God. And to me, the fetishes were so outlandish that I couldn't I couldn't see how they could be sexualized, but they were definitely a sexualized thing for him.
You got to give one up, bro.
Well, one
What?
was the feet thing.
Give me another one then. We talking about that already. What's another one on? You gotta go beyond the curtain, bro.
Another one was butt worshiping fetish. I'm
Mm,
So
like,
so
I
you
didn't.
so you just said it though, but worshiping.
mm.
There it is.
You just said it.
There it is. No need for the code cracker on this.
Yeah.
I think she just cracked the
I
code.
think you
Just said
figured it out.
But
Yep.
worshiping.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it was something that said over grace or something. Like,
That's hilarious, by the way. That's hilarious.
That was a nice comeback. B, I know you got something for us on it, man. What you thinking, man? You gotta get the room back together.
please.
Fetish. So there's forms of worship. Um, Fetishes are a form of worship, but the Bible says that God says, "I am a jealous God. Put no other God before me." So really, this conversation is incumbent or dependent on who you talk to, because then you have to bring in the element of discipline. So, I, fetishes are dangerous because if mishandled or overused, they can be placed in front of God, and you can then begin to worship things. And so, as it relates to marriage, though, like in Hebrews 13:4, the Bible says that marriage should be honored by all, and the marriage bed should be kept pure. In a lot of versions, it states that the marriage bed is undefiled, but in the NIV, it states that the marriage bed should be pure, because God will judge the adulterer, which is the person that walks outside of the marriage, and all the people that are sexually immoral. Sex is a very dangerous topic when it comes to Christianity, because God is the only person that will create something that is so excellent and so wonderful that it would compete for his love, and then put the stamp on it and says, well, you got to be married to do it, for one. And then number two, I still don't want you to put it before me because I'm a jealous God.
Right.
Put no other God before me. And and what's crazy is, if you cannot handle the fetish, like my dad always would teach me, You never allow something in life to control you. You always have to find a way to control it. Because once it controls you,
Mm.
then you're done. And if you can't control that fetish, it can do some damage, and it could do some damage to your relationship, especially if your partner is not understanding of it,
Right.
right? Because when we talk about we talk about struggles that men and women may have.
Mm-hmm.
Men may have struggles that women don't have when it comes to sex.
Right.
Why? Because men are typically more visual, right? Our heart may not necessarily be involved in the act of a sexual thing. And when women go there sexually, it's probably because their heart already left.
Right.
Right. And this is not all cases. And I don't want to sound judgy.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, if not handled with care, fetishes can become worship.
For sure.
And they can be put in front of God, and they can destroy relationships, especially if you start seeking it outside of your relationship. Especially when we talk about marriage.
Yep.
Because marriage is between two individuals that are one. And I know for me, I love my wife, right? I love my wife.
Right.
And I know she loves me for me, and she loves me in spite of me.
Mm.
And that's what we need. We need people that love us in spite of us. That's when you know you got somebody. When they know how to love. It ain't, damn, I don't need you to love me when I'm perfect.
No.
I need you to love me when I'm imperfect. I need you to love me like the Bible says, love conquers a multitude of faults.
Right.
And so when we talk about fetishes, you got to have somebody that understands your fetish, or somebody that's just willing to put up with it. Like BK said, it was outlandish, it was startling, but who knows? It might have grew on them. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you're not careful, man, you can have some fetishes that really can become worship.
So, as another married man to Tarmel, I'm gonna ask you this. So, you think there's a difference in fetishes within marriage as opposed to fetishes outside of marriage? Like, indulging in fetishes within a marriage as opposed to, hey, I'm just dating somebody. They got a fetish like Brooke, entertained those fetishes for a guy she was dating. Like, is there a difference to you?
So yes. So with marriage, it's the same person forever, right? And so what you find yourself doing now that I'm 10 years in is finding ways to keep everything interesting. You know what I mean? Like you also grow and change inside that relationship. If you marry young, you probably married before you even became who you was becoming.
True.
Right? And so so now you growing up, it's possible for y'all to grow apart. So through these changes, how do you still grow together? And the key to that, in my opinion, so far what I found was to go on journeys together. You know what I mean? Like learn your partner's body.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Learn what matters to them and what doesn't. Not just in the bedroom, at the playground, in the classroom, everywhere. You know what I mean? Like parenting, like all of it. So these are like little journeys that we go on together, because if your partner going it by themselves, then that's you guys growing apart. That's my perspective.
Sure. All right. Now,
But if you're just dating somebody, whatever. I mean,
No, a good point that my wife always makes is, which is critical, learn to be a student of your partner.
yeah.
Right?
Yep.
You're going to develop things in your 20s that are going to defer and be different when you get in your 30s and then in your 40s. So you're going to become multiple people.
Yep.
You got to figure out how to love every last one of them.
yep.
And that is essentially becoming a student of your partner, learning how to love
It's
the
like-
transition.
It's
phase
like
of them.
growing with an artist,
Yeah.
right? Reasonable Doubt J ain't the same as the
Black Album.
Blueprint to the Black. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
even now, like some of the joints he's make now, I was like, okay, I'm still trying to grow with you, Jay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. Like your partner should be an artist to you, and you should be constantly growing with them. So
But here's why
No,
we
that's
never
dope.
use. Here's why God never uses the word like in marriage, because He understands you may not always like your partner.
Right.
Your responsibility is to love them.
commitment,
Right.
the commitment,
He ain't always like what we did,
right?
but it was His love that saved us. His love that kept us together. His love that reconciled us. Because His best is always reconciliation, never rejection.
Yeah, it is.
So when you talk about marriage staying together, when you love the person that you're with, even when you don't always like their ways, your best is always going to concern them and vice versa. And it's always going to be how we reconcile. How do we figure out how to love each other through it instead of liking each other,
Right.
and or disliking each other and falling apart.
No doubt. So we didn't touch on the married side of it. So,
Yeah.
Mike, as
Wait. I have a question for Pastor B that
Yes,
I just need to know real quick.
I got you.
Pastor, so in regards to fetishes and marriages and everything like that, and what it says in the Bible about a pure bed, are there things that as a married couple you can't do according to the Bible? Or is it like it's a free for all? As long as it's just the two of you guys can do whatever and have infinite amounts of pleasure and it's not sinful at all.
So before you answer this, Pastor, this determines if I get married on Monday or not. So go for it.
In my personal opinion, it has to be a fence, boundary within the marriage that is created to create understanding. You can.
That's a tough one.
It's very tough because it really depends on the partners, right?
Yep.
It depends on the partners, but the bedroom being undefiled, I think that there just really needs to be boundaries. I don't think that you want to be too wild. But it has to be a level of understanding and a level of comfort on both partners' ends. And again, she hit it on the head when she said that it has to remain between the two. Because if she ain't say that part, I'm gonna be like, well, nah, y'all two can't be going out swinging with other couples. Because then that's walking outside of the relationship. Because two shall become one, not four, not five, not six. You know, and it's hard enough for two to become one.
right.
And so I just think that you have to have boundaries in place. I think it's incumbent upon the couple. But when the
Are we talking like safe word boundaries?
huh? You
Are
said
we
what?
talking safe word boundaries like pineapple?
I was gonna say that.
I'm a safe guy. I think that you can throw what you want in there. As long as it stay between y'all two and y'all are comfortable with it, and you don't let it come before your relationship with God, both individually and collectively, I think you're okay.
I think this is a perfect time for our audience to tell us what they think.
Right.
Absolutely.
So let's make sure you guys chime in on this one.
That's
because I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer. But if somebody got some scripture reference or a perspective on it, I think this is an awesome way for us to engage together.
Sure.
For the
leave us
record,
in
ladies,
comments.
for the record, my future wife out there, no gun to my head if we working on babies, none of that. That ain't cute to me. Keep that, no. We gonna have boundaries. This to this. Anything outside of them lines, it's a wrap. Divorce on Tuesday. Married on Monday, divorced on Tuesday.
So one more question for Mike before we end this, man, and close this, because this has been super dope. So we touched on the married side of it, but back to OnlyFans, right? As somebody that isn't married, Mike, and dating and getting to know women and potential long-term partners, right? Do you think that having an OnlyFans as a subscriber can be the gateway to wanting something outside of your partner? Like if you dating a girl that's maybe she's light skinned with long hair, but maybe you go on OnlyFans and you see someone who's short with short hair, and she you see a bunch of those. Do you think that generates the want to leave that person alone? You get what I'm saying? To want something else.
It is deception, 100%. Because you go out looking for that particular look, and just based on that, like you said, if you're looking for something long term, it's not gonna always look like OnlyFans. You can't see nobody integrity on OnlyFans. You can't see their character.
Right.
You can't see their heart. You can't see how pure they are on the inside on OnlyFans. So it's definitely a deception, 100% a deception. So, yeah, but. Let me say this. Number one, shout out to my homeboy who let me log into his OnlyFans. That wasn't mine. It was. But also, I don't have a foot fetish neither. Let me clear that up too. Like they don't need to be busted up. But what I'm saying is I'm not drooling over people's feet. It just so happened that that particular client just showed her feet a lot. So yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
All right, man. So y'all know I take notes every episode, man. And this is what we learned today. I want to reiterate and state one more time that me, Mike, and Tarmel went on a field trip to OnlyFans, and it was for educational purposes only. Thou shalt not take an OnlyFans girl serious, according to Mike, one of the great
number seven.
Rule number
commandments.
7.
Rule
Number
number
seven.
7.
Commandment number 7.
Yeah, commandment 7.
That's right.
The love of money is the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of
For
all
the
evil.
love.
And last but definitely not least, there are 2 Brooks, and one of them is a probation officer. And we'll never forget that, man. So, man, before we get out of here, man, I just want to make sure y'all check us out on merlotshades.com. Hit us up on IG. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. Catch us on all, if you're listening to this on Apple, on iTunes, or Spotify, make sure you subscribe. We're going to keep the fresh content coming. It's going to stay cutting edge. We're going to stay walking that line. We're going to make some people mad, and that's just the bottom line of it. Shout out to Nice Media also, man, because they're making sure that we get this thing to you in a quality way in quality time, you dig? And super producer Peaches, by the way. We got a dope producer behind this, and she a sister. You know what I mean?
Yes.
She's the brain trust behind this operation is a sister. So we got to shout
my
her
wife.
out, you know what I'm saying? Yes, that is Pastor. And so when he said, I love my wife, right? I kind of laughed
I
because
want you to know.
he put a little emphasis on that love, but I love it, you dig? Shout out to my wife, by the way. Anyway, so, yeah, make sure y'all hit us up on the IG. BK, give them your website, too, before we get out of here. Make sure you do that.
Oh, yes, you can find me on Now Be Adored, NOWBEADORED.com. And it's also with Instagram at Now Be Adored.
Nice, man. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all go get that skincare. And again, support black, support white, support Asian, support Spanish, support it all. But in BK's case, support black. You did?
There you go.
Facts.
We got love
Thank
for
you.
all. You know what I'm saying? So before we get out of here, though, I want to hit y'all with the GMD Song of the Week. That's the God Made Dirt Song of the Week, where we highlight an artist that is doing their thing, and we want to big them up, man. We love supporting the kingdom, and it still can't be corny, man. Flat out. The GMD songs of the week are not corny. They're gonna have you rocking. You're gonna enjoy them. We don't do corny here. You dig? So I want y'all to listen to this Christian hip hop.
And we don't do religion. We don't do cornfields or religion.
Yeah,
Facts.
yeah. So this one is a Christian hip hop vibe by a young artist named Temple. Right? I got to know this young guy within the past couple months, man. I like his movement. I like the way he moving, and he got some dope music. So this song is called Motions, featuring Nilo. The video's fire also, by the way. But check this song out, and then go download it on all platforms, man. Support the kingdom. And do you know that when you support the kingdom, you can put that into a seed journal, right? Where you can say, hey, I invested into the kingdom, and you can assign that to a need. Luke 6:38 says that when you give, it shall be given to you of great measure, pressed down, shaken together, shall men give into your bosom. So when you give, you'll get, you dig? So when you support like kingdom projects and give, that's a seed, and you gotta expect return on that. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind.
Blessed to be a blessing.
Yeah, you dig? So hit him up at templekeepitsimple.com, and he got a dope moniker on there. It's a sound everyone can listen to, lyrics everyone can relate to, music that everyone can be inspired by. So here it is, Motions by Temple, and y'all know how we get out of here. GMD is all on us. I know.
I know.
Peace. And I was